speech titled Master of My Destiny. Let me start with a small story from my childhood that may bring chuckle on your face. When I was 5 years old, starting school, on first day my teacher asked me what the meaning of your name. I stayed back at her, blank like a canvas. At home, my parents had told me that your name has no meaning. It is just a gift from the grandmother. Imagine wide-eyed and bewilderment upon learning that my name is just a random pick. Determined to have my meaningful name, I renamed myself Hasina, meaning beautiful. And why? Because I had just met my cousin who was named Hasina, and I was inspired by a Bollywood song where hero serenades a stunning girl calling her Hasina. So here I am, still going by the name Hasina. Who knew that Bollywood song can ever be life-changing? So much. Now, with an urge to define my own destiny, it didn't stop with my name.
Whose speech title is Why Fix It? Why Fix It by Ntezi Mfanya.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening to you, fellow Toasties, and our lovely guests. How many of you have heard the saying, why fix it? If it's not broken, why fix it? It is a common phrase, right? But have you ever stopped and think about what it really means? Should we not pursue improvement unless there is a problem? Should we only fix things that are broken? If that's so, is it really the best life to live? You see, in 2019, when I finished my degree, I moved back to Francistown from Halad. Francistown, my hometown. A place I absolutely love. Growing up there, I was introduced to the modern life. Traffic lights, malls, multi-story buildings. Thanks to Francistown, I didn't have the culture shock when I eventually moved to Harbour Road. This time returning to Francistown was different because I had got my driver's license. I had got it for 2 years, but I didn't really maneuver the roads that much. With my parents' car at my disposal, I was eager to test my driving skills. One afternoon, I was driving, going to watch a football game at the Francistown Old Stadium. I was in a great mood. My favorite team was playing, and I couldn't wait to see them again.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our distinguished guests. When you think about your group of friends, do you label one as the boss, or another as the athlete, or another as the artist? Now, you may have your own labels in your groups, but even if you don't, chances are someone in your group has a label for you, beknownst to you or not. Labels are directly correlated to the way you act or the way you speak. That is, the way you communicate. Now, the good news is the way you communicate is entirely in the palm of your hands. That is, you have control over your communication style, which means you have control over the labels that people give you. In my pursuit to find out about communication styles, I found 4 different communication styles as prescribed by Toastmasters. We have one, the direct communication style, which is where a person is focused, result-oriented, and ambitious. They may appear as strong-willed and demanding. The second communication style is the initiating communication style, where the person is a social butterflies. These are the ones we commonly refer to as your social butterflies. They are sociable, enthusiastic, and fun-loving.
Leah Musunga's speech title is Add Value. Add Value by Leah Musunga. Please give her a round of applause.
John Maxwell once said, to add value to others, you must first value others. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm sure you would all recall as you were growing up, you were slowly getting put into leadership positions. Who here was a class monitor when you're in primary school? All right, and then slowly you move to high school. Do we have any prefects? Anyone was a prefect? What about a head boy, head girl? Yeah, we find ourselves in those leadership positions as we are growing. Then maybe when you reach varsity, you might find yourself being in the student union council. And slowly, as you move on to your working environment, you might find yourself leading a team. Maybe you are leading a specific project, or you're leading a department. Toastmasters actually has a tagline when it comes to leadership. I want to find out if anyone knows what it is. Toastmasters? Any Toastmaster? What is Toastmasters' tagline? Yes! Exactly! That is the tagline for Toastmasters, where leaders are made. So it shows you that Toastmasters is really invested in ensuring that they develop leaders. And to ensure that they help you and I become better leaders. They encourage us to try and find out what is your leadership style, so that you can be able to navigate as you are pursuing your leadership skills, and also to better understand other people's leadership styles.
Could I really communicate outside my working environment? Because within my lab, with 3 other colleagues, our inside jokes and our technical jargons were the order of the day. But what about in social settings? Could I really communicate? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters and guests. Allow me to take you on a reflection of my journey here at Toastmasters. When I joined Toastmasters in August of 2022, I just wanted a platform to be able to speak much like this one, because my job did not offer one. I knew what Toastmasters was. I mean, it's an international organization that teaches leadership and public speaking. I wanted the public speaking part, but didn't quite bother or care much for the leadership aspect of it. So imagine my surprise when I was asked to choose a pathway. A pathway! I just want to speak. But I took up the challenge. I thought long and hard about my pathway. I remember they told me, you have a month to decide. If you don't decide within this month, then you might buy another pathway or something wild like that. So I decided to reflect on my work and the kind of leader I would want to become. So I work in a pharmaceutical company that manufactures livestock vaccines. So not to bore you with the details, but I work in a production lab and there's not much to talk about or lead about because I'm the junior most person in my section. Meaning leadership was a pipe dream for me. But when I thought about it, I work on teams. Perhaps that could inspire the pathway I would choose. And in the end, team collaboration stole my heart, or I fell in love with team collaboration. I thought I wanted to be a collaborative leader in future who could work on teams to, make that million Pula product, right? Therefore, I chose team collaboration. Unfortunately, as a pathway, it's not available anymore, I think. But it suited my role perfectly. So as I carried on a team collaboration, an opportunity to become a leader at Toastmasters arose. That is a volunteer leadership, because in my career, remember, I didn't quite have the opportunity to become a leader. So Toastmasters offered me a volunteer leadership role while I was still building up my career. I plunged myself into the role of secretary. So the past Toastmasters year, I served as secretary of Hamroni Toastmasters Club. I thought that was
Yes, the evaluators, Leah Musunga for Hasina Hamdin, she spoke for 2 minutes, 59 seconds. Clemens Kambao, when she was evaluating Utezi, he spoke for 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Clemens again, when she was evaluating Leah, he spoke for 4 minutes, 13 seconds. Bipilo, when she was evaluating Lara Michael Sabile, spoke for 3 minutes. Leah, when she was evaluating the president, Kumara Mapala, she spoke for 3 minutes, 32 seconds.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Toastmasters and guests. I was the master for today's meeting. First time taking up this role. So my listening skills were really challenged. So I think it's time to challenge yours now. Here it goes. How old was Hasina when she started school? Anyone?
5.
5. Who spoke about an unusual thing that they saw?
Daisy.
Okay. When did Desi finish his degree? 2019. Good. Why did Hasina rename herself to Hasina? What inspired her?
Her name didn't mean anything. The name don't
Yes, correct.
Oh.
Who spoke about communication styles?
Laruna,
Okay. What profession was her grandmother?
teacher, standard 1.
Okay. Miss Leah started her speech with the John Maxwell quote. Anyone remembers the quote? To add value to others,
You must value others. Something like that.
you must first value others. Yes. Okay. When did Tumelo join Toastmasters?
22.
What role did she take up?
Secretary.
Okay. Ms. Leah's, what is Miss Leah's leadership style? Coaching. Good. Last one. What is the unusual thing that Mr. Stacy saw?
The traffic lights were all green.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's it for the Hackmaster.
Thank you, Matsiriso. You did challenge our listening skills.
To connection, finding your communication rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome myself. Yes. Thank you. And well done. Where is Lauren? Oh, you're here. Yeah, let me face you. Well done, Larona, on that wonderful, wonderful speech. You were very clear. Looking at the things that you excelled at, you were very clear. We could properly understand you. Your objective was to find your communication styles and to be able to explain it to the audience, which I believe that you did. You did very well, especially by even given the different communication styles that are available. We got to learn that there's direct, there's initiating, analytical, and supporting communication styles that are available. And you even went on to explain that you also did an assessment of your communication style, which I thought was very powerful in us understanding and also you trying to understand your communication style. So well done on that, Larona. You maintained very good eye contact, which is what I really observed. Coming to the things that you might want to work on, the use of gestures. I noticed that for the most part of your speech, you were in one area, you were not really using gestures that much. However, towards the end of the speech, you were explaining the different communication styles doing that. So I would want you to challenge yourself to use more gestures throughout your speech.
As you were speaking, you were doing always like this, dancing around and moving around. That might show also some kind of nervousness, may imply to the audience that you are nervous. Or the best, stand still and speak and move only when it is necessary. Otherwise, your speech was well done, well presented, and well done for including gestures in your speech. And I look forward to seeing a big improvement in bringing your speech to life.
Thank you, Clemens, for that wonderful evaluation. I'm going to call Clemens again, who will be evaluating Leah on her speech from add value. Yeah. Back to you, Clemens.
Leah was presenting, it's a level 2 speech.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, understanding your leadership style. And Leah is quite an experienced person. There are, I would say, 2 things that I really picked up from her in terms of structure of the speech. What I liked about her is she wanted to bring a message about leadership styles. And the way she did her opening was quite great. She's introduced this topic with a story and asking the audience question, who was here a class monitor? Who was this as a leader? It's a way to introduce the story that I think was quite well done. And she also engaged the audience when she talked about what is the tagline for Toastmasters. And I remember one of the audience members replying that way leaders are made. What a way to introduce a topic about leadership style. It got me glued. And she went on, if you look in the structure of her speech, there's the body. She had 2 main points that I picked from the body. She said, I undertook an assessment. She moved from the opening and then went on to say, I undertook an assessment. That was the first point in her body. And then
Leah.
Mapala.
Leah.
Oh, Leah! Oh.
Alright, yes, so I was evaluating Dumelo on her speech, I am your leader. So, same thing with you, Dumelo, I'll just share what you excelled at, what you may want to work on, and then what you may want to challenge yourself. So in terms of what you excelled at, I like that you shared the story about your experience being secretary. So that was the leadership position that you were in. And even though the purpose is for you to share the skills that were needed to successfully lead in a volunteer, and through your story you were able to share with us that I didn't actually get those skills because my role was very much supportive. And so I like the fact that you at least shared that aspect to say, okay, I didn't get the skills because this is what I was doing. And then you went on to tell us how you are on a journey to learn to lead. And that's why you even challenged yourself to take on the role of the president as a way to help you to get the skills that can help you to lead in a volunteer organization, which you have continued So I liked that the way that you presented your speech today. So in terms of what I picked up that you may want to work on, you were given quite a long speech, 8 to 10 minutes. You could have engaged the audience more, asked us some questions, or found out anyone who had been a leader in something, just so to help us to engage with your speech, because it is an extended type of speech. So that's something I thought you may want to work on, especially when presenting such a long speech. It's good to engage your audience. And then what I thought you may, another thing to work on is also just your gestures. You were pretty much here. I think for most of us speakers today, we like to the spot. So like same thing, try and use more of the stage. I know I know for me personally, it's a very difficult thing coming from behind the computer screen to actually speak in front of an audience, because I'm used to just staring at the screen. So now that we are actually having an actual stage, so have to relearn to be able to move and engage the audience, moving that way, you come this way, you engage that audience, that type of thing. Because that's one of the big purposes of actually speaking in front of a live audience, is using more of the space. So in terms of challenging yourself, that was actually challenging yourself. Yeah, using more of the stage. So other than that, I enjoyed your